Well, this is the first episode of Wake Up Nigeria in the month of September.
So welcome to a brand new month, welcome to a brand new Monday. It feels amazing to be back, by the way.
Welcome back.
And thank you, thanks for holding it down.
Looking well rested.
Before.
Oh.
The way I slept in. But don't worry, it's Monday and it feels amazing to be right here on set, starting the day with you guys each day. It makes me really, really grateful to be right here. Thank you so much. Now, light illuminates from within when it comes to Wake Up Nigeria. Everything is just all bright and beautiful.
Yeah.
And I know that smile is going to stretch into something, right?
Yeah.
What?
It's nice to have you back.
Oh.
Even though Mary has also,
She's been holding it down.
She's been holding it down, making things work
Mary,
right here on the show.
Oh, you know I love you, girl.
So we need to give Mary like a few days to just go chill.
I like the sound of, you're me.
Oh my goodness.
Give her, send her to a spa.
Don't run away so quickly.
Send her swimming.
Why?
And, all that.
You know it's hard to handle these guys without you. You know I need you. I need you, girl. I need you.
You'll be all right
now.
Anyway,
eventually.
So Titi's back with enough motivation to last through this brand new month.
Well,
I can assure you
hopefully.
that.
Yes.
My name is Yomi Ope.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Now we're live streaming, as always. We're live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
Yeah, send in your comments on our social media platforms using the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria.
Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
Oh yeah, Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Don't forget that.
So I really enjoyed watching our mobile app. It was just so easy, like click watching Wake Up Nigeria. Like seriously, it's that easy. Download the mobile app from any Android or iOS store. Watch us on your mobile devices. As soon as you tap it like this, we are right there. And from anywhere in the world, you'll be watching us.
Yes, indeed. Now, we're going straight to this morning's highlights. Lots of stuff. It's a Monday. It's the beginning of a month. And 3 hours of all the very best of entertainment right here on the show.
Yes, indeed. Now, we have Afrobeat singer Brownie Pondis giving us a musical performance very shortly.
Then we bring you the latest developments in the world of technology right here on the show.
Yes, indeed. All the techie people need to stand by for that. And of course, we have a little bit of history coming up later on the show. This Week in History is one of my favorite segments. And well, hey, you'll be finding out why.
Yeah, now, Onyekano Day is a composer and a singer who also has a musical performance for us later on the show.
I was in one of his music videos, by the way. So, hey, we also have some Monday motivation coming your way. Triple A, the coach, is going to be back, giving us that right amount of incentive to take on the new week and, of course, the new month like a boss. They'll be talking about simple tips to multitasking. And that's a big deal.
Yeah, multitasking like a pro.
Yeah.
Now, on the auto segment, Yomi Boside will be discussing road rage. Believe it or not, especially on a Monday, sometimes it can just get really crazy.
Road rage. We should really talk about road rage a bit later. But we also have SMEs this week. Now we'll be having the CEO and Managing Director of Pundit Bookkeeping Services. So for those of you who are wondering, how do these accounts people make it happen? When you tune in, stay right here. We'll be giving them the chance to explain. It's so interesting, the things you can find out if you ask a CEO. Yeah. If you ask them directly, how did you handle this? How did you handle that? The answers are so varied that you'll be like, wait, I never saw this coming, But that's another topic.
Anyway, welcome back, Titi.
Weekend.
Thank you.
So talk to us about your 2 weeks off.
It's called Lounging 101. So the plan was to travel, but man, these visa people, that's another story. I don't get visa. They didn't give me, yes. But I did spend some time resting, and the kids are on holiday, so the kids were doing a lot of learning this holiday. And I had the opportunity to speak with some young moms about absorbent young minds. So for those that haven't seen the videos of my kids yet, on my page at Titi the Dynamite, I have a lot of videos out. Yeah. And these women just keep sending me DMs like, wait, how did you, so in the end, I had the opportunity to speak with a whole group of them.
Oh, so you gathered them together?
No, someone actually invited me to a school and invited all the parents, well, the females, the moms, to come and like just, and it was just so amazing how free they felt and how they were able to let a lot off their chests. But it's still a journey, and you know, as holidays go, it was fun. It was fun. Yeah. But I missed you guys so much.
Good to have you back.
I missed you so much. Like I'm watching the show.
How was your weekend?
I was asking you first.
Oh, okay. You're asking me.
How was your weekend?
My weekend. I actually spent the whole of Saturday resting because I was in church all night on Friday. So, yeah. So I rested till about 5. I was going to go out, but you know, one thing led to another. I stayed. I stayed in on Saturday throughout Saturday. Yesterday, also not too busy. I didn't go out and it didn't do much. So that's
okay. So it was just
for
chilling
me.
And lounging.
It was weird because I had to stay indoors. I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
And yesterday I decided that, okay, if I'm to go to work tomorrow, I need to actually stretch my legs a bit. So I decided to go and buy fuel.
Uh-oh.
Now, I got a bike I was trying to get a bike. So I was like, do you have change? They said, no.
You wanted to go and get petrol, so you took a jerry can?
Yes, I took a jerry can.
And you gone on a bike?
Yeah, I was going to get on a bike. So I asked this first person, he said he doesn't.
Are you aware that you're on TV? I'm just saying.
Because I'm on TV, I should not go and buy fuel again. Anyway, the first bike, the second bike, they don't have change. The third one had the sense to say, if I wait for you, it won't take time. He didn't have change, but will I call it, his business side already calculated that if I wait for her, then I'll get paid for coming back. There's no point in me driving around looking for someone. So he waited. Okay. Now I got to the filling station. I noticed that there are 2 filling stations in that area. People usually avoid this filling station. Oh, guy, if you are doing of this filling station, this is why nobody comes to your filling station.
Okay.
So I decided to go to this one that everybody's always ignoring. And I get there. I drop my jerry can. Please sell fuel for me. I asked for 1,000 naira for. And this lady sold fuel. And I looked at the meter and I saw 970 naira. And I'm like, sorry, madam, I said 1,000 naira. Maybe you did not hear me clearly. She said, we used to collect 30 naira for jerry can.
Jerry can, exactly.
And I said, madam, I am not aware of it. Where is it written? And how did it start?
Wow.
Do you know what she did? She actually filled the can for me. God. She gave me the extra 30 naira. And as I was leaving, I was just fuming.
Why
this is why people don't come here. No, this is why people don't come here. Obviously, they don't sell the fuel.
Are you aware that it's actually illegal to sell into jerry cans?
You're supposed to use,
committed a crime,
you're supposed to use an actual tank.
An actual tank.
Or the metal jerry cans that the military use, so that it locks and then it's...
So, Uncle, next time you want us to buy fuel in the house, you carry the gen as you used to carry the gen and go and buy it.
Mary, and we need to have this conversation. It's a bit longer than we have time for, but we have to go to the news. Ibrahim, long time.
Hi, Titi. I heard there was shooting in Texas, and that's the reason you decided to come back home.
Really?
Wow. Texas, you know, Shodi.
Wow. Didn't you hear me say they did not give me visa? Did you hear?
Well, you may not be telling us the truth.
Just wants to rub it in. This is Brian. Read your news, Joe.
All right, welcome to the news. Heavy rains have cut off Lafia Bridge in Adamawa State, which links the state with Gombe and Bauchi. The incident left travelers stranded and affected commercial activities in the state. The road has been in a deplorable state since it was contracted for rehabilitation 3 years ago. Residents are unhappy with the slow pace of work by the Chinese firm handling the work. And the state government is appealing to federal authorities to take urgent action. The rains have also been wreaking havoc in other parts of the country, which is why the government of Osun State is appealing to people living in flood-prone areas to immediately leave. Governor Lagos-Ibadan visited some places affected by floods in Osogbo, the state capital. Our correspondent Rafi Hamid has the story.
Residents of various communities in Osogbo have been experiencing flooding for the past 2 days. The governor took time to visit some of the areas affected in the town. Property worth millions of naira have also been destroyed. Governor Lagos-Ibadan is not comfortable with the dumping of refuse on the waterways.
We've asked them to pack their waste in bags. The people in the environment will go around and pick the bags. But because of this dirty habit of our people. They still believe that once it's raining, all their waste should be dumped into drainage without necessarily taking cognizance of the fact that it's going to block the flow of water. And that's exactly what is happening.
He also solicits federal government support towards addressing the challenge.
In the state, I believe within the next 1 or 2 weeks, they'll be able to do something to assist us. This is very huge. The state government alone cannot do it. We have so many of these areas. In the Abuja, a lot of areas are affected. But with the support of the federal government, I believe we'll be able to tackle the flood.
While assuring that dredging of the waterways will commence immediately, the governor urged those living in flood-prone areas to vacate their houses. Rafiu Hamid, TVC News, Osogbo.
And Katsina State is also feeling the effect of flooding. The National Emergency Management Agency has distributed relief items worth millions of naira to some people whose homes were destroyed last week. Our correspondent Abdulatif Yusuf has the story as well.
The Katsina Emergency Response Committee estimated that over 300 houses were either partially damaged or totally collapsed. The victims have lived in difficult conditions since and are relieved that government assistance is reaching them 1 week after the occurrence.
My response is that we are very happy. We people of the local government, we are very happy with what the federal government has done to us. Because by giving all these relief materials, it shows that federal government is disturbed what happened to our people in the local government.
The items presented by NEMA include bags of grains, foreign parboiled rice, beans, salt, and other household and roofing materials.
We are here to provide on his behalf this relief assistance that comprises food items, household utensils, and building materials.
The Katsina State government again wants residents to desist from erecting houses on the water channels and urge beneficiaries not to trade off the items given to them.
The governor's message to this important gathering is that people should always take care of themselves before something negative happens to them. So it is better to look carefully about their environment so that this unwanted occurrence may not happen again in the nearest future.
In recent years, environmental challenges have increased, and developing nations are faced with the task of building conducive cities that consider the safety of its citizens. Abdulatif Yusuf, TVC News, Katsina.
The planned rehabilitation work on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway will commence as scheduled September the 2nd. Motorists are being advised to respect traffic diversion signage to forestall congestion on the corridor as the road rehabilitation commences today. The federal road managers want motorists to comply with the temporary measures put in place in the course of the ongoing road reconstruction to ensure the timely completion of the project. The contractor has been directed to make adequate preparation for the timely completion of sections of the road by mid-December to enable smooth traffic flow during the Yuletide. And the PDP governorship aspirant in Bayelsa says the growth of the state requires a collective contribution and partnership of leaders, corporate organizations, and the media. Ruben Okoya, who also asked PDP delegates and people of the state to consider the state's development before casting their ballots.
Respect the media and allow them do their job effectively so that they can tell us the truth. They can watch us. They can guide us. They can criticize constructively, not destructively. I know at this point in time in Bayelsa's history, I am best for the state to move it forward. And I encourage Bayelsans to do the right thing, not for themselves, but for the state.
There is need for politicians to, in this manner, engage or interface with us to see how together we can move the society forward. So Ruben Okoya's visit is a good one. At least for him to even recognize the fact that he needs to talk to us, that shows that yes, if given the opportunity, he's going to do better.
And that's the news update for this hour. We'll have to take this short break. Sports is next when we return.
Yes, indeed. Wow, we're starting with the Guardian newspaper this morning, and it talks about how Nigeria lost $9.6 billion gas contract suit in the UK. So 1,000 CSOs to picket British-Irish commissions today. Firm blames Buhari government, Malami, over asset controversy and seek immediate solutions. Akinyemi Oyebode also advised government. It also says here, Shiites dare IGP vow to sustain activities nationwide. Nigerians sue Senate over 6 billion naira cars for members. Avoid Lagos-Ibadan Expressway if in haste. Trace warns motorists. And finally, federal government loses 395.4 billion naira power revenue. Records 3.644 trillion naira fiscal deficit. More on page 6. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
All right, let's check out the Vanguard this morning. Northern leaders to Southeast governors. You have no power to ban movement of herders. Tanko Yakasai, Junaid Mohammed warned against self-help. Stopping people from bearing arms not new, says ACF. And other southern governors should follow suit. And Kyo Briggs says. Southeast governors right, but, says Colonel Ogbebo, and the herders from Chad, Mali, Niger are the kidnappers, says Ariwa chief. And right beside that story, we have UBA records 21% growth in profit to 70.3 billion. And up here, a few other stories. $9.6 billion judgment debt. The EFCC seeks Interpol's assistance to track local and foreign collaborators. On Lagos-Ibadan Expressway partial closure, no cause for alarm, says FRSC. And Boko Haram sacks Chibok village. Wow. Sets houses ablaze, kills 5 farmers in Maiduguri. And below here we have a number of other stories. Enough political comments on education. Act now, ASU tells Buhari. And 30,000 naira minimum wage, federal government labor in Make or More meeting on Wednesday. And Power, AGL faults cancellation of $100 million concession pact. And we have some photographs on the cover of the Vanguard this morning with the Chief of Army Staff and other officers at the scene of the weekend's ambush attack at Mongono axis of Borno State by Boko Haram insurgents. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
We have the Nation newspaper up next. Some interesting headlines here. It says PNID rejected federal government's $250 million settlement offer. Controversial contract signed when Yaradua was in coma, it says. Page 2 has more on that. Something that interested me here, it says here, JAMB to use NIN for UTME. That's the national identity number. Now that's a big deal for people that want to go and do JAMB again, for instance. It also says the Pope rescued from elevator. Apparently he was stuck in there for about 25 minutes, stuck in the lift. Now that's an interesting one. It also says why 123 Jigawa men, 123 Jigawa men were arrested. Police say they are not a security threat. And finally, PSC to decide on 10,000 jobs. That's what we have on the cover of the Nation newspaper.
I think that's about all that we can take for this hour on the newspaper headlines.
Yes, indeed. We have to take a quick break now, but Wake Up Nigeria continues after this. Hello and welcome. If you're just tuning in, it's time for the Wake Up Nigeria traffic update, Lagos traffic that is. Now, we would love for you to know that you can always be part of this segment. Please send in those messages. Tell us what exactly is happening in your neighborhood. Use Instagram, use Facebook, or even Twitter. Tell us what your traffic situation is like. Is road rage affecting you? Please just use that time to just snap it, send a traffic selfie, and we'll see if we can give you some guidance. Hopefully, you're using a hands-free. We have an update on the situation of the roads, especially if you're moving from Bega bus stop. It's actually Berja, but as in everybody says Bega, so I have to, like, you know, switch it up. Bega bus stop all the way to Marina. And that's a route that a lot of people take. Usually they take the 3rd Mainland Bridge, but if you decide to take the 3rd Mainland Bridge this morning, you're going to be 30 minutes later than usual. It seems like the bridge is already on lockdown. And when I say on lockdown, it's bumper to fender traffic right now. But if you do decide to take an alternative route, you could decide to take the Ikorodu Road. Apparently, it's a lot freer. That's about 30 minutes less traffic on that particular route. Not to say that you won't meet traffic there at all. You will meet traffic around Shomolu area. You will meet traffic around Obanikoro. You'll meet traffic around Alaka as well, which are the usual trouble spots. But once you pass over the Eco Bridge, you should have some plain sailing. And when I say plain sailing, the roads will be free. I'm going to be checking out some other routes in a bit, but I would love to hear if we have any tweets standing by. Yeah. Hi, team.
Just a few tweets here on Traffic Chief, at Traffic Chief NG. Okay, so there's a strange tweet here. It says there are about 10 cows on 3rd Mainland Bridge.
Wow.
Inward Lagos from Adekunle. That's the strangest thing I've ever heard.
Oh my goodness.
No one is watching over them. They're just apparently just walking around and causing a bit of traffic. So that's going on right now. That was about 20 minutes ago. So things might have changed a little, but I mean 20 minutes ago is not too long ago. And so hopefully someone who's in charge can hear us. And some other updates. Kudirat Abiola Way towards Ojota is slow. Of course, as you're approaching Ojota bus stop, you have a lot of buses in that area, Okadas and all of them. So it's slow, but it's moving. And then from there, from Ojota towards Maryland, it's light. It's not too bad, but then it gets busy at Maryland after that. So that's what I have here.
Okay, so you didn't see the one of earlier. There's a scattered corpse on 3rd Mainland Bridge.
Oh, no.
Inward Adekunle, about that same access as well.
Me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's another one to watch out for. So if you experience traffic on the road this morning, especially on the 3rd Mainland Bridge, you have a fair idea of what's causing it, the cows and the corpse.
Yeah, so there's this has been verified by one or two other tweets. That's about the cows.
Yeah.
That's been verified by
I see
two
another
others.
one. This one calls them calves.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so that does explain a lot as to the reason why most of the traffic applications here are directing people to take the Eco Bridge and that is Ikorodu Road to get to the island. For some reason, at least 30 minutes of traffic on the 3rd Mainland Bridge. If you're planning to take there, please do a U-turn or something and find another route to take. All right, we have to wrap it up on the traffic updates for now. I'm going to be heading into the kitchen. It's been so long since I've gisted with you guys. I've missed you.
We are come now.
Auntie was sweeting you.
So just along the lines of the traffic thing, there's going to be a partial closure of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. True. But we've been told not to worry. So there's going to be a lot of traffic officials' presence in that location to help, at least the part that is open, to help with a free movement of traffic. So hopefully it shouldn't be too bad because it's going to be partially closed for about a month or two.
They say people should not worry. When they say people should not worry, you know that's when people start worrying.
Well, you can't blame them. If you check Autocentric, that's our auto guy on Instagram, he actually posted the traffic advisory there. Inward Lagos, outward Lagos, and as well as alternative routes. Yeah, so we'll probably post
It's just like when you tell people to calm down, that's when they start getting hyper. Like, we are calm down. That's when, why are you telling me to calm down? I was like, don't worry. That's when I get worried. Because a lot of people tend to break the rules.
Just something happened yesterday. I know we're talking about the US Open. Of course, the big one had to be Naomi, who of course, was Coco. She was very magnanimous in victory.
Yeah,
that's a very good thing.
Very nice. And that actually trended beyond more than the match itself.
Okay, but then there was something that trended even more, and that was big. Now, Novak is the defending champion for the US Open, right? Yeah. But something happened. Dude was injured and came up to play a former champion also, Stan Wawrinka, right? He goes 2 sets down. 2 sets. Now, that's major. Now, Djokovic is about a player that you can trust to come back. Out of 5 matches where he has gone 2 sets down, he has come back in 4. Yeah. So the crowd expecting Djokovic, but now he had a shoulder injury. Yeah. Oh. It's your shoulder. It's not a leg injury. That is what you use, man. So he was struggling all through to return serves. He was fighting. Now, do you know the painful thing, the annoying thing? He goes up, hugs Wawrinka, tells the official that he's retiring at the 3rd set, and the crowd starts booing him.
Why?
I'm telling you. The crowd at the Arthur Ashe Stadium, they start booing him. So, okay, not the whole crowd, some sections of the crowd. Yeah. And as in the sports world is extremely pissed off with that crowd. That was extremely uncalled for. That was...
oh, wow.
I'm trying to hold myself to the words I want to use. But how can somebody go out there to give you a show, even when he's injured, and then you boo him? I mean, we know football. We see footballers, even when they get injured, the opponents even stand up. It's commonplace.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you are supposed to give, he should have a standing ovation. You boo him.
Anybody can leave the pitch when even while play is ongoing. Once you have an injury and you discover that you can't play, even if you put in the effort and you discover that, okay, it's not working, you walk off the pitch.
I'm of the opinion there's more to the story.
Because
it's very abnormal. It's very abnormal for someone like Djokovic.
Those guys paid money to come and watch his show.
Those guys paid, yes.
And they're like, you
want Djokovic. And of course, when you are the defending champion, what people will pay to see you is usually different from what they will pay normally.
And a lot of them are actually also place bets as well.
Exactly, the bets as well. Djokovic is going to nail this. And
there are
so many things,
it
but
doesn't matter.
But you
football.
Know,
so you see, like I mentioned to you, every week in, week out, we see this with football in different leagues. In fact, the latest one has to be Gary Bale was given a red card. Even when players do something that is wrong. Gary Bale scored 2 goals yesterday. I was watching the match live. He got a red card. He was going out. His fans said, hey, you did well for us. Even though you messed up and got a red card, they clapped for him. Okay, like, no matter what you paid, man, this guy has this thing.
Football.
Oh, God,
there are other people to replace you.
You don't boo it. You don't do it.
This one,
don't
if
try
you
yourself.
lose, you lose.
Don't try it.
So it could be a case of emotions.
That was rubbish. That crowd. You guys should be careful.
Over the weekend, still, Jidana seems to be
yes, he is.
trending
I know
for like 2 weeks straight. I don't understand.
No, the previous week was his album. He released his album 85 to Africa. That was the previous week.
Then there was another weekend he was dancing or something.
Okay, so this he went into the house yesterday. He went
as
into
a contestant?
No, of course not. He went to visit the housemaid.
Right.
And the amazing
when you
thing
said he went into the house,
he went into the house, into the Big Brother house, and he had loads of great motivating things to say. He talked about the fact that he, as a public figure, he's being judged all the time, so he understands the pressure of being in a place where you're being judged for, everything from your intellect to your skills and everything. He talked about that. Then he did talk about the 85 to Africa, about how there's a Route 85 in the US that leads to the airport that now brings you to Nigeria. I was like, I don't really get it. But I don't know if there's really a route from Yankee to Africa yet. Maybe I don't know.
Just to the airport.
I get it, just to the airport. Whether they give you anyhow.
Okay. That's why he was trending.
Part of what made him trend was apparently it was brought in according to Twitter, because I've been watching BB Nigeria on Twitter. Yes, I'm one of those people. Now, according to Twitter, it was brought in when the housemates were asked to freeze.
Yeah.
So you are seeing Jidena come into the house, and all you can do is
you can't move.
You can't move.
Okay, so what happens when you move?
You get a strike or something.
A strike,
So because of that, people on Twitter are like, they will not care if they lie. They should strike them 3 times. They will run to hug.
Okay, no, not after you've been in the house for over 8 weeks.
When you've learnt your lessons.
Following the rules of basically a puppet master telling you to freeze. And the one that pained me was that, we have commercial breaks here.
If they ask you to freeze and you know that, okay, it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Big Brother house. Who would walk in that will make you...
move.
That will make you abandon
The person is dead.
Abandoned 60 million naira.
Michael Jackson.
Forget
That's
Michael
the
Jackson,
person that would have made me move.
Yeah, 60 million
I know
naira is a lot
for
of
sure
money.
that if I'll tell them I don't want the 60 million, I have my 60 million here. Thank you so much.
It wouldn't be Jidena though. Sorry, Jidena. Hey, hey.
Oh, Jidena, I think I'll move,
Hey.
but I might just
So
finish.
before you
Not too
leave
much
town,
movement.
please come on the show.
So he's in Lagos right now?
Yeah, he's doing an
Okay.
album listening today. All
I hope
right.
the producer can hear that Jidena is in Lagos.
Yes.
So try to
We're
bring him
working
on
on
the
it.
show like Wednesday.
Trust me,
He's
we're
just going
working
to
on
cut
it.
us off on the break. Stay with us, we have more.
We'll be back. All right, Wake Up Nigeria continues with some music. It's about time we had some energy in the studio. We have Brownie Pondis in the studio. Christopher Uzoma, aka Brownie Pondis, is an Afrobeat artist. Now he's going to be giving us the music we need for this morning. Am I right?
Yeah,
It's
sure.
the music we need.
Yeah.
So what's the name of the track you're performing? Odo.
Yeah.
So you know you have to break down what that means. What is that?
It means love.
Love.
Yeah, in Ghana language.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What dialect from Ghana? You know the dialect from Ghana? You
no,
just heard them use it, I guess, in Ghana.
Google it. So.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Okay. So is there a special person you're sending this love out to? What? What? Is it, at least send the love to me now, even if you're not sending it to somebody.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you send it to me. All right. You ready to perform?
Yeah, sure.
All right then. Okay, Brownie Pondis about to give you that song he calls Odo.
Baby, just bend down, boss. Dance to the beat, you know it's force. Plenty money for my pocket. Mommy, sure you won't come collect.
Move around, you clap now. You enjoy that kind of thing, you cannot clap. Wonderful, great one. Great performance to kick off our Monday morning. Thank you there for that wonderful one. Getting our spirits up. Okay, so let's take a look at some tech updates this Monday morning. Our first story is one that is quite interesting. A number of people might want to watch this one. This is motivation on another level. Next month, Netflix will release a 3-part documentary series called Inside Bill's Brain, Decoding Bill Gates. Now, in this documentary, Davis Guggenheim, who is the director of An Inconvenient Truth and He Named Me Malala, aims to figure out what goes on inside the head of the world's second richest human. I feel goosebumps. Yomi is here, of course, with me. Yomi, what do you think about this documentary? What would you do? I mean, how much of an experience would it be for you taking a look at this documentary?
I definitely, I mean, I can actually resubscribe to Netflix because of that documentary alone. That's the kind of thing that you should watch. You know, these guys that changed the world, they all have sort of the same traits when you look at Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, you know, all these other guys.
Steve Jobs and all of
Steve
that.
Jobs. I mean, they
you see
all
them,
have...
Did you see the section where he was talking to, you know, he was in a board meeting or something. They are hard drivers. They'll push their stuff. They'll do all this. But one thing that really got to me when I saw that thing, you know, now Bill Gates is very involved in polio eradication. Now you could see when there was a map of the world and you could see the red was coming down, and then Nigeria was the last one that the red went off.
Yeah.
You know that we are one of the few remaining possibly polio endemic countries, and we are almost there at the 3-year mark where we'll be declared polio free. So that was quite very, very, you know, iconic there.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to that.
I also am very much. Okay, moving on from that, Microsoft. Still on the man, Bill Gates unveils a new tablet experience for Windows 10. Now, Microsoft is planning to redesign the tablet experience for Windows 10. The software giant has started testing a new design for 2-in-1 convertible PCs that will keep the user interface more similar to the existing desktop design. Currently, Windows 10 throws you into a more tablet-optimized user interface that removes taskbar icons and puts the start menu full screen when a device automatically switches into tablet mode. Microsoft is now walking back some of those changes while keeping some touch-optimized elements for 2-in-1 PCs. Now, this is going to be a throwback, and I know Yomi is going to be very interested in this one. Sunny celebrates 40. That's well over 40 years of the Walkman. The Sony Walkman TPS L2 was released 40 years ago this summer, forever changing the way the world listened to music. Now, Yomi, I know you had a Walkman. It's not possible that you didn't have a Walkman.
I actually did have a Walkman up until 2008, believe it or not. Because of certain tapes that I still needed to listen to that I couldn't transfer to CDs.
What? I mean,
so up till 2000, about 10, 12 years ago, I still had a Walkman.
That, like,
but
it was
a modern one, a more modern one, yeah.
Now, it became arguably the most iconic brand in Sony's history, with hundreds of devices bearing the name and continuing to be released today. Now, to celebrate the Walkman's legacy, Sony held an exhibit in Tokyo until this week called Walkman in the Park. The venue is Ginza Sony Park, a new public space that sits on the site of the iconic old Sony building that was recently demolished. Another Sony building will be constructed here next year. Wonderful, that's a great one. I think I had a Walkman at one point, then it moved into Discman. You remember the Discman, the Sony? So after the Walkman, it graduated into the Discman. We said, you know, and then you go with your Discman and you're just in big earphones, man. Not like now where you see AirPods and all those small, cute things.
Yeah,
then we had big earphones and nothing. And it was all very cool at that time. It was all very cool. Of course, this was just before the iPod, you know, came to replace it. But the Walkman, how special a place would it have in your memories?
Definitely. I mean, it's amazing when you think about all for the first time, you could carry your music along with you anywhere you went to. So all you needed was to take all the tapes you needed to listen to and just be switching. Right? It was just absolutely amazing. I mean,
it was cool.
And then, of course, it's a piece of history that a lot of us carry with us.
Exactly. I mean, it's not like now that you can just hit back to the beginning of a track. Then you have to press rewind. And then get the point and check it. Has it gotten back to the beginning of that track? And then you flow. Wow.
Or you just wait until the tape turns around.
And then you pick it up and turn the other side. A lot of kids don't know what cassette tapes are. I mean, VCRs also. What you tell them, what's a VCR? Like, look, side 2, you have to bring it out and turn the other way and put it back inside. We had to do all of that. It was fun, man. It was fun.
Yeah,
technology.
It was absolutely amazing. I'm still going to actually go look for my old Walkman when I go back home.
Now you say so. I'm not going to look for mine.
Through the
definitely is not around.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we can take. Thank you very much, Yomi, for being part of this with me. That's all we can take on our tech segment this Monday morning. The show has only just begun. Well, it's been an hour, but we've got an hour, 45 minutes more to go. There's the Auto segment. Of course, there's going to be the kitchen. There's our SME Monday motivation. A whole lot to come on the show. Don't go nowhere.
Welcome back. And guess who's back with you on your favorite breakfast television show?
Yes, indeed.
Look at her.
I'm back, people. Yes, I'm back.
Is that silk?
Well, I actually don't know if it's real silk, but it looks very silky.
Yeah,
Thank you.
back, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. I had a blast. Thank you for asking. Well, hey, we had to make sure we started the new month fresh and brand new just here with you. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Well, our Mondays are always on point.
Yeah.
You know, always on point.
Yeah.
Always here to motivate you and to just, you know, get you to the next level, get you ready for the whole week. And so you shouldn't miss anything on the show today. My name is Yomi Owe.
And I'm Titilaya Owinson. Now, of course, we're live streaming. You have no idea how important it is to live stream with us. There's some things you'll miss if you're not with us all through. Just go to tvcentertainment.tv and, of course, Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
Yeah, of course, sending your comments across our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. And use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
So that app that we talk about every day, we're going to say it again. Download that app on Android or iOS. Please, this awesome app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world. So many great things happen on that app. You can win things as well. Just make sure you have it handy.
Yeah. Guess what? Well, of course, every day on the show we have a chef. And today, Nathaniel is joining us.
Yes, he
Yeah, he's in the
is.
kitchen
Complete with the bow tie.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Chef Nathaniel.
Yeah, thank you.
So what?
What's on Mike?
I don't know. Mike is.
We're getting ready to bring the heat. To bring the heat. You know, when I'm in the kitchen, is always very, very, very different. So yeah, that's what we're doing this morning.
Okay.
And I just had to take off. No, Yomi, we need a suit hanger or something here, right? We need something here.
Really?
Just to get ready for today. And we're gonna be set today. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen
Somebody
today.
give Mike an apron.
Wow, come on, man.
Mike an
I need an
apron.
apron in this place, man. I'm ready
Yes.
for today, man.
You
We're
need
gonna
an
make it
apron.
happen. It's good to have you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
How's your weekend?
It's very good.
All right. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna have fun in the kitchen this
Yes,
morning.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
Can't wait to
Thanks
see
a
what
lot,
they
Mike.
come up with.
Anyway, straight to this, the rest of the highlights that we've got for you on the show today. We have a couple of historical reminders for you this week in history, and that's going to be taking place very shortly.
And of course, we bring you some music as well. When it comes to music, you know we're always on point when it comes to Wake Up Nigeria. We're always on point. Composer, singer, and so much more. Oyin Konade is going to be in the building.
So how about a little bit of motivation for your Monday? Yeah, Coach Triple A will be joining us this morning and giving us simple tips that will make you multitask like a pro.
Multitasking is no joke. And of course, we have our auto segment. Mechanic to the stars himself, Yomi Bosude, is going to be back talking to us about road rage. Yes, indeed. Do you have a baseball bat in your back seat? You never know. We'll be talking about that in a bit.
All right, and last to come is SME. On the SME segment is the CEO of Pundit Bookkeeping Services, Jovita Madujemu, who's going to be with us to talk to us about how she started her business and how she keeps it going.
Honestly.
Bookkeeping.
Yeah, bookkeeping.
Bookkeeping, eh?
That's accounts. Yeah,
Accounts,
Okay.
audit, stuff like
bookkeeping.
I was looking at the literal meaning and all of that. So I was thinking maybe some librarians, you can call them bookkeepers or something. But bookkeeper, not in the literal.
I remember that. I remember that subject in secondary school, bookkeeping. Hey, I hated
You studied
it.
bookkeeping?
No, in school.
Commercial. It's on,
you
under
know,
the commercial.
Yeah, so. Well, I think I was just everywhere. Honestly, I don't know.
My school didn't
But
have
I
this kind
remember.
of subjects. So.
Yeah. Wow. Really?
Bookkeeping.
Yeah. So
like, was it a
so they would
subject
break it
of
into
profit and loss,
profit and loss,
Credit and
ledger,
debit,
credit and
the
debit.
ledger and all
You
that.
learn how to balance the book. If at the end it's not exactly the same amount, you know there's something wrong. That's all I
They
know.
prepare you for sales girl job after secondary school now.
was that
And
on
then
the
Secretariat
Was
studies.
that under economics or something?
Yeah, well, kind of. Yeah, economics.
Was it
Yeah,
not? No,
No,
we had
it
it
was-
as a subject, business
under
or
commercial,
accounts. Or
yeah.
accounts, yeah.
Which school will now go down? We didn't have that.
I did do bookkeeping. Yeah.
But a lot of things have changed now, you know, the
Yeah.
way they
We
teach
did it
these
too.
days.
And I went to correct school.
It's okay.
We should talk
You
a
got
bit
an
more about this
education,
with
that
our
worked out.
SME owner a little later on. Maybe she did bookkeeping in school.
Yeah.
But we have to.
Okay, all right. So, after some workout, you know how it is. You need to get something in your stomach. Chef Natito is in the house. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm very fine.
So we are set. Wonderful spread we have up in here. What are we doing today?
So today we are making assorted indigenous pasta.
Hey, assorted indigenous pasta.
You know,
Okay.
originally pasta is from, I think, Italy.
It's Italian,
Yeah,
yes,
so
definitely.
today's meal will make it like our own Nigerian pasta.
They don't know it. All right,
They
so
don't know what's going on.
They don't know what's going on. So let's take a look at our ingredients.
So-
What are we working with this
Well, we're
morning?
using spaghetti. We
Okay.
have tomato paste,
Okay.
plantain, pomo.
Hey,
We
pomo.
have chicken. We have onions, vegetable oil, croaker fish,
Hey.
smoked fish. Then we have our locust beans. So you can see that we are using our local ingredients.
That's what they call irua, right?
Yes, iru, exactly. So we have seasoning, nutmeg, black pepper, garlic, and salt.
There's kpala fish here.
Yes, kpala.
There's croaker.
Yeah.
There's pomo. There's chicken. I'm okay. All right, so let's get to it. How do we
So,
start out? What's the first thing
of
that
all,
we do?
Okay, the water is already boiling, so...
Well, water was already up and
so
boiling.
We'll start
So-
with the spaghetti.
Okay. Okay, we get that in first, right?
Yes.
Okay, I thought I wanted to do more. So I see that you've broken up your pasta and all that.
Yes.
There are some people that I know that like just putting
They don't like, yeah.
Why do you break yours up?
I'm already used to this.
Okay,
and
you
I
like
prefer,
this,
so
eh?
instead of it just getting too long and at
Same
times,
as me, I break up even noodles. I do. Yes,
exactly.
like
I break it
like
into
four. I shred,
Crunch
so
it.
I crunch it. I crunch mine. I don't know. That's how I love it. I crunch mine. So I know people put in noodles and all that. I crunch mine. I'd rather have them a little bit shorter, not too long. Yeah.
Then
but
also I'm going to use little of vegetable oil
inside.
Yes.
Okay.
This is important because if you don't add it, then the spaghetti will start coming together.
Are you serious?
Yes. So this one like separates.
This is just normal oil.
Yes, just
so it's good to do that at the beginning, right? It helps separate it and all of that.
So they don't just cluster.
Okay. What if you put butter?
You see,
okay, butter is good, right?
Yeah,
butter will melt and all that. Yes, so yeah, I've been thinking of options also. We can also
that
try
butter, vegetable oil,
put butter.
olive oil.
Okay. All right. That's wonderful. So while we're getting that set, so how do we put together our ingredients?
We're going to start with the croaker.
The croaker fish.
Yes. So, we're going to fry.
We're going to fry it?
Yes, our croaker and our chicken. So we're going to add salt.
Oh, man.
Black pepper.
Okay, that's black pepper, right?
Yes. So this one is just to season it.
Okay.
So let me just add
that's normal salt,
oil.
right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So just have it.
Is the oil going to be that small?
Yeah, it's just, we don't need plenty. It's not deep frying.
It's not deep frying,
It's not deep frying.
Okay.
So
I actually love deep frying, though, you know. But hey, let's see, let's try varieties.
Yeah, exactly. That's the beauty, yes, and also about cooking. You don't need to do it the way you know it to. We can just try.
Lovely, lovely. What's this, garlic?
Yes, garlic.
It's garlic.
We're going to use it for the spaghetti.
I can feel the aroma and all that, so yeah, to a point.
So just to season this a bit.
Okay, so myself and Chef Nathaniel, we're getting this set. Today, I'm in charge fully, right? Don't go nowhere. We'll take this short break. We'll be back with much more on the show. Yep, of course. Oyinkan Akonde is a singer and a composer best known for his remarkable performances in the 5th season of Project Fame West Africa, where he ended in the 5th position. Now, as a follow-up to his other singles, he now has a Casa vibe. How do you, man? It's been a while. It's been a while. It's really been a while.
What's up now?
Great to have you. I have seen you after the competition. You dropped some hits, some banging singles and all of that. We've not seen you for a while, but is there a comeback? What happened? Was it like there was a break for a little while?
You know, it's a good thing for an artist to understand the business aspect of the industry.
Okay.
So it's a good thing for you to retreat, take your time, build a team around you, then you start shooting.
Definitely, I understand that. Retreat for almost anything that you need to do. You need to get back and look a bit up. So you've put a team together and all of that. What are we expecting different from
I just got signed to a new record label.
Wonderful, wonderful. Congrats.
LMO Entertainment, lead music, original. So our first official single, Casa. You know, I just did Down with Vector.
Yeah, sure.
Now we have Casa.
Okay.
Casa Vibe.
So the one with Vector was still under the record label, your new record label?
In between.
Okay, while you were...
The record label came in between.
Okay, in between.
And it's been a good experience with LMO, actually.
How long have you been with them now?
Like 3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months.
And we have a new video out there.
Wonderful. What is this new deal going to do to your career?
Well, we're going global.
I like that.
We're going global.
Now, Nigerian music is really going global. Yeah. And the bar is very high because we know that you guys can do it and all of that. What are your plans?
The likes of Beyonce tapping into Afro music.
I'm telling you. What are your plans to take your sound global?
Taking Afro, we all are doing Afro. But
True.
I kind of infuse Fuji and R&B in my
True.
sound. So that's what I'm taking.
Your first single still always plays in my head. I mean, with the whole La La Dura and all that, I love that song. It always plays in my head. It's on my playlist.
So that's what I'm putting out there.
All right. So to get that fusion of Afro and Fuji and all of that, get it out there. Wonderful, Iko. This is me wishing you the best and all of that. But then moving forward, how long is this your deal for? Do you have a duration?
Yeah, we have 2 years, but I know we are going to spend more than 2 years.
I like that. I like that. Okay, so is there an album coming up? Is there something in the works or something like that?
Yeah, it's a process actually. We have to talk about dropping an EP.
Okay.
But for now, we're doing singles for now.
All right.
Then we get to the level that we want to drop an EP. We know that, okay, we've gathered up enough fan base to drop an EP. Then we'll talk about an album. Okay,
you see, that's one thing. So taking that retreat or that break and all that, was there any kind of way, like reconnecting with the fans and all that? Because before that break, you had the followership, the fan base. Yeah. Is that followership still there, or are you trying to reconnect and build a new kind of followership?
Very strong. Very strong. Right? You know, I performed at a show in Ibadan just like 2 weeks ago, and I got up stage. I forgot my lyrics. And the fans remember.
Does that happen? Does that really happen?
No, anytime you see an artist doing 1, 2, you know that.
It does happen. It does happen. But how do you how do you recover? How do you get back into?
You know, when you hear the fans singing your lyrics to you.
I tell you, that's a wonderful feeling. That's a wonderful feeling. But is it because you do so many songs that makes, I'm talking about artists generally because I know it does happen. Is it because they do many songs, or you guys do many songs, and then at times it just gets to skip? What happens? What makes
sometimes
that
I think the excitement on stage. When you see people shouting or people singing your lyrics, you get excited, and sometimes you just miss your lyrics and you try to catch up.
Catch up and all of that. Wonderful, wonderful. This is, do you have any collabos? Is there anybody that we should be looking out for? Any kind of collabos that we have, that you have coming up, or anything in mind?
A whole lot of them. But you know, it's always good to keep things.
Keep your cards, he's keeping his cards close to his chest.
It's always good to keep things.
I like that. I like that.
People get, but the Casa Vibe remix is coming very soon. Out of Nigeria, Africa, but
okay. You heard it here first. If anything's gonna happen, you heard it here first. But this is me wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
Now, you're not going to perform right now. We'll take a break. I will come back. I will have the performance. I'm looking forward to a gym performance there. Thank you very much. Wish you the best. All right. So we're still here. When you call, is still in the house. We're going to take a break. When we get back, you're going to feel the performance. Casa Vibe coming right up after this break.
Papa no go die if to bá darúgbó, baby mi erejo. Ó dele pè mí lórúkọ kò fà mí nírùngbọ̀n yẹn.
Nice. I actually saw Chef Nathaniel dancing. That was when I knew that, wow, someone is really taking it by the music. All right, Mike, it's your kitchen.
Yep, so we'll find chicken now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and this was, I just called up this spice. And get
Mike, you did not cut it off. Chef Nathaniel did. And see, don't spoil the food for everybody. What are you cutting? Can't you see this is too tiny in comparison to this?
Chef, who did this thing?
You better say the truth.
Are wearing apron. No? This one is not wearing apron. No?
Who is this one?
We're wearing apron. See us here. We're the chefs. Okay, we're frying this, right?
Yes.
Okay, but do we have enough pepper? This is enough, right?
Yes, this one's for the start. This one will be enough.
For a start, eh?
Yes.
So what is this called? Because I can see pasta has been cooked.
Yes, I bought the pasta.
Yeah. So what are you calling it? Because I don't know. Everything here is going into the pasta.
Yes. So I called it assorted indigenous pasta.
Assorted indigenous pasta.
Assorted in the sense that we have different things mixed together. We have our pomo, smoked fish, locust beans, and coca, and plantain also.
But this one is by the side?
Yeah, this one is by the side, and this one is by the side. So,
okay, this is by the side as well.
So it's indigenous.
With chicken again?
Yes, with chicken too, so it's just different
for me,
things.
this is the indigenous flavor.
Yes.
Yes, the
and
locust beans. Oh, well,
Nigerians are known to use cow skin and smoked fish. Yeah, so that just made it.
So what's the secret to frying this without peeling off the skin?
No, I've already scraped off it's scaled fish. Yes. So all those scales I've already
but you know sometimes when you're frying scaled fish especially, the skin peels off.
And if the frying pan is not is thick, you actually use non-stick. Okay. So it doesn't gum. Yes, it doesn't gum. And you have to be flipping it periodically.
Flipping it wouldn't make the fish break apart?
No, just this periodic, just little. And that's why I didn't deep fry it. I just stir fry, so just one at a time, one at a time.
Because this is an art of its own.
Yeah. And it is not boiled. It's not boiled. I only seasoned it and fried it. Yes. So here's the spoon.
When it's stir fried, you still get the taste of the fish much more than when it's deep fried.
Yes. Yes. So.
Mike, you're still cutting that one.
Yes, we are.
So
we are.
Yeah.
Okay. What we finding in there?
The sauce for the pasta.
Okay,
I'm going to mix
use of that pepper, the
tomato paste. Yeah, I'm going to mix it with the pasta so it will be more colorful.
Okay, okay. So I learned a trick last week that worked perfectly for me this morning. When I'm cooking jollof rice, I always wonder why the pepper isn't really red like I would want it, especially after putting tomato paste. A chef came last week and taught me that I should put the tomato paste with the hot oil before adding any other pepper mix and all that.
So it changes the color.
Bro, I tried it this morning. It was like party. Yes, it was like party jollof, man.
Wow.
I was so pleased with myself. I felt like I just achieved a world record.
So yesterday I tried something new. So I'd never tried it before. Raw egg inside noodles.
You've never tried it before?
So there's no oil. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens is that maybe I'll fry the egg separately and then
Pour
turn
it
it in
inside,
and then
okay.
something. But this time, like just 2 minutes, I saw someone do it. I'm like, I tried it yesterday.
But did you like it?
It
It
was
always has
okay.
a way
It
of
has
looking.
somehow, like,
Unless you fry it on the side.
It's, emergency food or maybe students' meal.
It's not student food. The meat and the geisha is inside that thing. It was expensive, man. It's not student food, though. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Just as I just boiling the noodles.
Yeah, just
crack the egg.
Crack the egg and
don't mix everything.
So
I'm telling you,
together.
it has a feel. It's kind of different, but
It used to make my tummy.
yeah, it has one.
diarrhea,
Yeah,
like, what
it
is
does.
this I'm
It
doing?
does have one kind of, you know.
Ah, finally you finished.
Yeah, we're
Hey.
done. We're done with that. We're done with
So
that.
we're adding our garlic.
The garlic.
Yes.
Okay.
Then tomato paste.
The tomato paste.
Okay. So this is going to give you that jollof look.
So normally, yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay, this is for the sauce, right? We're not mixing it into the
No,
pasta.
No, we're
he's
mixing
actually
it
putting
Oh, we're mixing.
Yes.
Oh, we're putting pasta into it, eh?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thinking that the sauce might be different and all of that. Okay, that's cool.
Then we're adding our bell peppers.
So is it that they use to include the bell peppers, or is it because it's tomato paste you're putting?
Yes, it's just tomato paste, so it doesn't take much time.
Okay.
But that paste, I would normally think that the paste,
Can
I
add
would
a little.
always like the
Oil.
paste to maybe fry more. I don't know, to get that
raw
slap, that
taste
that
to
taste,
leave.
yeah,
Okay.
to leave that slap feel that you get when it's still kind of fresh.
You know, people are different. There are some
Yeah.
people that actually like to taste that
taste.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but normally I would like to fry it a bit and let it, you know.
It's like Mike has been doing a lot of cooking lately. Eh?
So for personal,
Hunger is a problem for
personal
bachelors.
consultations with Mike's Cuisine, hit me up. My
Hunger will
number,
just kill you.
go up on social media at
Mike.
MikeMesRKenor. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also on YouTube. I will drop you some of my videos with Chef Natino. We're going to make it happen. We're going to drop you some culinary videos.
Beans and egg.
You know, I was, what's his name now? And is it Bourdain, Anthony Bourdain, the chef who passed on. Yesterday, I was just doing a little bit of research on the guy. And I found out that he was traveling, of course, the chef, he was involved in community and all of that. Do you know what's in a great job? When you talk about traveling, man, arrange the tours, we'll travel and me and this guy, combo.
From Lagos to Abuja to Dubai.
Hey, now it's Dubai, you start from Dubai.
You see yourself.
Lagos and
When you
Abuja,
say Lagos to Abuja, it was hardly reacting.
Start from Dubai.
No, you can't start from there and now end there.
No, we don't want to end here. When we leave here, we're not coming. Let's go from Dubai to UK to
Berlin, to Hamburg, everywhere.
This guy, you heard this there. Sure guy. You heard this there, that's what.
Sorry, you know that they refuse somebody visa.
You know it's a refuse us visa.
Okay,
so but this is already fried. Is this enough?
No, we'll still mix it with this.
We'll still mix it
so
with
this one is just like 70%. So we'll now mix everything with this.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
That's cool. So
that's a real good.
Yes.
Yeah? Cool. That's cool.
So the iru comes in when you finish putting everything at it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you know there are some people that don't like the taste of locust beans or the smell? Is it not better to put the locust beans for those people, just as you're putting the tomato paste, so that it cooks and the smell is off?
So
what do you think?
Can I handle this question? Okay, so from an expert perspective here, you have to understand that the segue between Iru, the local beans, and the pasta is an intrinsic part of the meal, right? So you cannot take away that part. It comes
Give it up for Chef Mike.
Come down, let me finish here. Let me get done, let me land. Yeah, but the point is that is the meal. So if you don't want to take the meal, don't take the meal, but Iru is a part of it. Together. That's it. So if you don't want to this meat today, all of you that are jumping in
I'm still waiting for the anticlimax.
You're still waiting? We've gone. You're still waiting here. We've left and gone. You're still here waiting. Don't wait though. Okay, but then we have a whole lot happening here. I love panla. Is it panla or panla?
End it. Let's go on this break.
Is it panla or panla?
I'll tell you
the intonation.
First, go on the break.
Okay, all right. We'll be right back with the final 45 minutes of the show. Don't go nowhere. It's still Wake Up Nigeria.
Stay with us.
Your favorite breakfast show is still here. Yes, we've been here since 6 a.m.
Yeah, 2 hours has gone by already, and for the next 45 minutes, you know, we still have a few things before we round off the show, so stick around.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. Starting your week with us that's what we do.
Yeah.
You know, we love it when you do that. We appreciate you.
Yes, indeed. My name is Yomi Ookwe.
And I'm Titi Lyle Oniso. Now, as always, the show is always packed. You need to stream with us so you don't miss anything. If you have to go grab something, get some food, get ready for work, just log on. That's tvcentertainment.tv, and of course on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Yeah, you can also send in your comments on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Very important. Now, you need to download our app as well. For Android and iOS stores, please download this app because you can watch us from anywhere in the world once you have it in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, okay. So the next 45 minutes, let's tell you what's going to be happening. Now, Yomi Boside is going to be on the show with us. We'll talk about road rage during this period when, you know, things get quite busy. It's the amber seasons.
Yes, so please.
If you do get upset, we just wanted to let you know what you should do.
And what you shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, of course, we'll be moving on from there to SMEs. We have the Managing Director of Pundit Bookkeeping Services, Jovita Madojemu. Now, it's going to be an interesting discussion because we're going to figure out what makes an SME like that tick. You know?
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff. All right. So I was going to actually say, you know, it's a lot of work trying to rest. Like trying
that's
to
what
rest.
you pause that long to say.
Like, do people even know how to just take a chill pill anymore? So when you were during your break, how did you rest? Like, how did you do it?
So rest is, so some people can sleep and not rest.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people that sleep and they wake up tired.
A lot of Lagosians do that.
They sleep and wake up tired. So it does happen. So I think rest is more a mental thing. I don't know if it does make sense to everybody out there. But for me, it's a more mental thing. So you can actually be walking and be at rest.
Yeah.
It's a state of the mind, mostly.
So that's why a lot of people recommend something called decompressing. So when you decompress, so you take a break, let's say you take 1 week or you take 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever it is, you probably need a few days to decompress. That means you disconnect from where you're coming from. So if you're coming from work, especially some high octane, high tasking work, like the kind of work that we do, you probably need a few days to decompress. Otherwise, you'll still be waking up at the same time.
Yeah, true.
You'd still be a bit, you know,
Yeah, on the edge.
Agitated.
Be agitated,
yeah.
you understand? So that decompression process takes a few days. So you have to be deliberate about it, because what then happens is that you then try to replace, if you don't decompress, you then try to replace work activity
Yeah. With other work, other
holiday
activity.
activity.
Yeah.
So you want to go out, you want to take a walk, you want to maybe binge watch a lot of things, because you can't.
That's still stress.
Exactly, because you can't sleep, so you're awake for hours because you can't decompress. But once you do that, then you're able to then relax, be quiet.
That's why I don't see 2 weeks as a holiday. Like by the time you're getting used to the new system, you have to get back to the old system. So
Well, okay, so I'm kind of connecting this peace and rest with road rage. Because there are just so many people on the roads right now. You don't know what exactly they're going through or what they've been through. You don't know whether the place they're going to meet a serious issue, or they're going to try and solve some problem, and you just don't know their problems. So when you're meeting people on the road, you really have to be careful. I have to say, we thank God, Kafi, the dancer, her husband was in an accident on Sunday morning, you know, and it's obviously all these issues that happen on the road. You just don't know what that other driver is going through. So
over the weekend as well, Kevin Hart, the
Oh.
comedian, had an accident.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
And he's still recovering from what we said. He had some injuries on his back, but thankfully he's also still alive. One or two people also reported accidents as well. That, you know, it's just, people need to be careful. Now, in the news already, there's heavy rains. We expected that there will be rains in September. So that also is going to be causing traffic issues, and so people just need to be careful.
There are
The
reports
roads are
that
wet.
this year's rains will be like the heaviest in the past 10 years.
Wow.
So even mostly in Lagos.
the whole
So
climate change business.
Exactly. And I remember when there's this guy who's in charge of Lagos State and drainage and all of that. That's something that we really have to, as much as we can, clear your drainages, man. If you know that you're in an area that's flood prone, erosion prone, and all of that, man, ensure you clear your drainage.
It's very important, because when the rain starts, you'll be sorry.
You'll be
And that's
wishing
the
you
truth.
did.
You'll be wishing you actually did the right thing at the right time.
What time, man? What time?
You
There's one time I had a
remember
little
when-
issue.
When
my
Mike's
roof.
house got...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the rain was so heavy. There was one particular rain. It was mad heavy. The things all started leaking.
So if you haven't been through that in Lagos, people that live on the top floor or have roofs directly above, if you've not done the whole bucket catching water, then you've not lived in Lagos. We need to head over to the news updates, though.
Yeah, Ibrahim is on standby.
Thank you for staying tuned. Alex Adefemi, also known as Coach AAA. Now, he is a peak performance life coach and the lead coach of the Alex Adefemi Advisory. Today, we have AAA, and he will be giving us simple tips that will have you multitasking like a pro. I'm sure so many people are interested in this, especially career-driven folks who also have a family. So tell us more. When we talk about multitasking, what is it about really?
So basically, good morning.
Good morning.
Basically, the thing with multitasking is that people tend to think it's all about doing multiple things at one time, at a time. So basically, you have a classic multitasker will be a mother who's trying to cook, who's trying to attend to her child, who's also trying to receive a phone call. Maybe she's a stay-at-home mom who runs a business. And so she's also trying to attend to a call from a particular customer or a client. And then at that point, that's classic multitasking, in quote. But the challenge is most of the people don't realize that that approach to work, it actually hampers your productivity. It reduces how productive that you can be. So if you really want to multitask and get the best out of it, the key is to take it one step at a time, or take it one at a time, not all at a time.
Okay, so one step at a time.
So one at a time, not all at a time. Because most of the time, productivity experts will tell you that doing too many things at once actually hampers your ability to be able to be productive completely, or hampers your ability to be able to do an excellent job on all those things at once. So multitasking really is about doing one thing at a time, rather than trying to do all those things at the same time, because you think, so these days you find that a lot of people, when they write in their CVs, they write multitasking as a strength. But really, what they call multitasking is actually a weakness because it makes them less productive. Because when you're trying to do so many things all at once, you would obviously likely mess one or two of them up.
Yeah, but I am very sure so many people are going to counter this because, as you said, you used the example of a mother.
Yeah.
You have to get dinner ready, say for 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And you're cooking at 6.
Yeah.
At the same time, you started dinner, no issues. At that time, your child cries. You have to attend to the child, though you're still cooking. And then, of course, at that time, a client whose call you've been expecting doesn't even have to be a stay-at-home mom. Could be, you know, someone running some other stuff.
Yes.
And so the client calls, and you have to answer the call while your child is crying, while you have food on the, you know, cooking at that time. So you're trying to tell me that that is not productive. Now,
what happens a lot of times, let's ask those mothers, a lot of times they probably don't get the best. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't get the best out of that food. Why? Because they probably won't do it as much as they would when they fully concentrate on cooking that food. So maybe the salt might be too much or the thing might burn a bit. So how about you, first of all, attend to the child. Okay. Maybe if the child is a 1-year-old or 2-year-old that can understand you, say, Mommy will be with you in 2 minutes. I'm coming. Give the child a kiss. Face your meal.
Give the child a kiss.
Yes.
Some children, you give them kisses.
I know. I know. But then the truth of the matter is, if you try to attend to that child, attend to the food, attend to the customer at the same time, you will mess one of them or two of them up. Sure. You know, you might even mess up all the rest. You might even be angry and say, the customer might be talking and say, oh God, I've heard you, and you snap at the customer. Yeah. So because you are under pressure, and it happens to a lot of mothers, it happens to a lot of women, especially working class women. So if you really want to multitask and get the best out of yourself so how about you, before you start turning the food? Yeah. If the call comes, that call can wait. You can actually finish turning your food
and call the person
and then call the person back. If you don't have credit, you can send the person a text. I missed your call. If it's an urgent call, you can call the person back. That's why I always tell people, even if the call is urgent, if they can't reach you, send me a text message. What if I'm not with my phone at that point? So even if it's urgent,
let's take out the family setting now, practically, especially for people at work.
Yes.
This is something we all believe we can do. I can multitask. Yes. I can do this. I can do that. Yes. And from what you're saying, it just only reduces productivity. So let's apply it now to an average worker. How do you multitask productively?
I'll say this from this perspective. If you won't hear me, hear Gary Keller, who's a billionaire and an author. He wrote, so he said this, he said, extraordinary success comes sequentially, not simultaneously.
Comes sequentially?
Comes sequentially, not simultaneously. That means comes one at a time, not all at the same time. So for you at work, you might have, maybe you have 2 or 3 tasks that you're running. Yeah. What the ideal thing is for you to do is, I would say 3 things. First of all, find out what are your pivotal tasks that you must carry out. What are the pivotal tasks that you must carry out now? Which are the ones the pivotal ones are the ones that will affect your productivity the most if you don't get it done.
Sure.
Your musts. So find out what the musts first. Okay. So when you find what the musts are, and then you can then focus on those and then take it one step at a time. After you take it one step at a time, which is the second point. The third point is the ones that are not your must, who can you delegate or outsource it to?
Okay.
So you need to think delegation outsourcing, especially for people who run businesses, who are SME owners, who even those who work in organizations. You think that you can do or you should do everything by yourself. That's not everything. That phone call, you might not need to be the one to make the phone call. Somebody else can make that phone call on your behalf.
What if you've asked that person before and the person made a mess of it? That's another problem.
But you can supervise. Now, I asked...
supervise? Is that not another task?
Now, I asked another billionaire mentor of mine a question. I said, how do you run a multi-million naira organization? And then you're not there. He says, you have to learn to delegate and supervise. Okay. Now, what it means by delegating, he told me, was that he would give you what to do. You know what you do. But then you are supposed to get back to him at a particular time. If you don't get back to him at a particular time, obviously you yourself, you're already messing up. Okay. So even if it's your colleague or someone that is your contemporary that you're asking to do something for you, you can check up on them. How far now? How far with that stuff that you're doing for me? Help you. Can I see how far you've gone? So you can supervise, and it will take less energy from you to supervise, and still more. You can still to focus the energy you need on your must or your pivotal role, task for the day.
Fantastic. So basically, what I have learned today is that it's important to learn to delegate.
Yeah.
It's important to sequence whatever activities you have to do.
Yeah.
And of course, it's also important to know how to say no to certain things at certain times.
So if I were to round it all off, multitasking is about doing it one at a time, not all at a time. And with that, you will excel.
Thank you so much, Ripwe.
Thank you for having me.
That's fantastic. That's something to hold on to. We have to move on straight to the garden now, where Yomi is on standby. Hi.
Now, Wake Up Nigeria, we do a lot of multitasking. You get that right. Now, of course, we're in the outdoors, and today we're talking road rage on our auto medics. That's what we'll call it on the show here. And of course, I've got Yomi Boside of Auto Centric Garage joining me this morning to talk about road rage, which is a strange thing.
Yeah.
Why did you decide that this was an important topic to look at on the show today, even though usually we talk about just motoring?
Yes. What we sometimes don't realize is that driving goes behind being the wheels. Yeah, you understand? It goes beyond steering, taking turns left and right. No. There's also the emotional side of driving.
And the mental side as well.
Yes. So we can look at it from that side first, because that really matters. What people also forget to realize is that your emotions actually affect your driving habit too.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's the reason we're looking at road rage today.
Road rage. All right. So let's get to it. So where do we start from?
What do you understand as road rage?
Road rage. So essentially, I'm driving in my car.
Yeah.
Somebody cuts me off suddenly without giving me any indication that he was about to, cut me off. So I'm going at a certain speed. Maybe I'm going at 60, and this guy just suddenly cuts me off, and I have to, suddenly brake, and that can
trigger something in you.
It can trigger something. It can just suddenly get me upset, and depending on how I respond, sometimes you want to speed up and catch up with the guy and
high five. It's called high five.
Okay, high five.
Just do high five,
like yeah. But I don't do that anymore. I used to.
Good, because you're not getting.
I try to temper, my
emotions, your reaction.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why we need to share this, because those are triggers for road rage. And another can be if you don't plan your journey properly and you're running late and there's some road okay, for instance, there's the road diversion that's going on around the Kara area now.
Yeah.
So if you don't plan your journey properly, that can trigger the rage in you. But in most cases, you just become aggressive over something you can most likely would have managed properly. Like you said, you're now managing yourself properly, and so it's important that that you manage yourself properly when driving.
So, all right. So let's look at the various tips and of course the various triggers.
Yes.
That can happen.
Yes.
In a typical town
Nigerian Lagos,
typical city like Lagos.
Yes.
The things that can happen.
Yes.
I just described one scenario. So are there any other scenarios that we can look at?
Yes. When someone is tailgating, we call it bumper to bumper. That can trigger you because you're wondering, why is this person moving so close to
me from behind? Yeah.
From behind. You're really wondering. That can trigger it. Improper journey management can trigger it as well. That's two. You can also have construction going on. That can trigger it. Loud music. Some people get triggered when someone else is playing a loud music
from their own car.
From their own car. It triggers you in your car.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
So that's a trigger.
That's one of the triggers too. And also phone calls too. So that's why it's best for some not to take calls while driving, because you might get a bad news, and that can trigger sad news. Yes.
Now, one of the things that we don't have that much time. So one of the things that I've always wondered, when somebody is angry at you on the road, so you're not the person, you're not the aggressor.
You're not the aggressor.
Somebody else is the aggressor.
Yes.
And, they're angry, they're upset. Maybe you cut them off, or maybe something happened and there was just a misunderstanding. Maybe you're thinking something else. This other guy, something else is going on with him. How do you respond to somebody else's road rage?
Well, it's best you remain calm. It's best you just remain. That's the best principle I'll advise. Stay calm, because there's this rule that my mom taught me a while ago that when you are driving, assume the other drivers are not normal.
Okay, so that's good advice.
So just
that's
assume,
some motherly wisdom there.
Yes, assume they're not normal. In fact, some psychiatrists have come up with a theory that road rage is also a mental disorder. It's called IED. That's intermittent disorder, you know, of the brain. And it happens. So when they do that, try to understand, could he have gotten a bad news? I mean, he's in a hurry. As his boss just fired him.
So you respond calmly?
Calmly.
As much as possible.
Because I don't know what is up to. Some, you know, the road rage has two types. You have the habitual one, and you have the learnt one. You know,
so if I'm the one who so I'm the one that gets upset, so I know myself. You know how some people say I know myself. So I'm a mad driver. You know that there's some people that say that. So when they get on the road, they're angry, and you know, and you can hear them. You know, you ride with some people, even sometimes Uber drivers and things like that. You're sitting in the back and they're already abusing people and shouting, right? So there are people who are habitual road ragers. If there's any word like that. How do I begin to respond and become a better driver on the roads?
First, you must learn to take it easy when you are behind the wheels. Plan properly, take it easy. Don't be much in a hurry, and don't do unto others what you wouldn't want to be done to yourself.
And plan ahead. One of the things that you told us today. Plan
exactly.
Ahead.
Plan
so
ahead.
You don't then run late and then get upset.
And get into that mood.
When there's traffic.
You know what I mean?
Wow, Yomi Boside, thank you so much for joining us. You can check him out on Autocentric Garage on Instagram and Twitter and on Facebook as well. But that's about all that we can take. Stay safe on the roads today. The roads are wet, but just keep it real, keep it calm, and stay at peace. After this break, we'll be more on Wake Up Nigeria.
You're welcome again. It's time for us to talk SME on Wake Up Nigeria. And this time, it's bookkeeping. You know, Pundit's Bookkeeping Services is a company targeted at meeting entrepreneurs' accounting needs. It has become the service solution to many businesses that do not have in-house bookkeepers. Now, the CEO, Jovita Madujemu, is here to talk to us about the journey to a successful business in Nigeria. Great to have you here today.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Nice to be here.
Now, you notice I mentioned in-house bookkeepers.
Okay. Yes.
Before I even talk about in-house or outsourcing bookkeeping, what is it about bookkeeping? What's the importance of bookkeeping in a business?
Okay, so I could just put it simply by saying that every business owner needs to measure their decisions. Okay, so you need to know whether your decisions are translating to profit for your business. You need to know whether your decisions are hurting your business. So for instance, you decided to take on certain people maybe for marketing. Are you measuring? Are you checking whether before you brought these people, your sales was at a certain level, and then after you took these people,
was
your
it
sales,
worth it?
was it worth it? So if you're not measuring your decisions, you just keep running blind, and then someday you say, I don't know where my money is going to, which is what happens to most people, right? So they're just doing the business, they take it as it comes, they're not checking what's going on, and as a result, they're not even making the kind of progress that they should be making if they were measuring those decisions by keeping proper books of accounts.
Now, bookkeeping and auditing, especially regarding what you just explained, is there a difference between them, or they more or less link into each other?
Financial statement audit is that you have actually prepared the accounts, and then somebody comes to check to be sure that you've met certain standards, and then, you know, also now prepare an auditor statement that is sent to regulators, whether the tax people or maybe your financier, if it's a bank, and all of that.
So, bookkeeping is more or less the foundation of auditing.
Exactly, is the very important first step. So you need to be you need to ensure that all your accounts are kept in order before you can even progress to audit. Okay, so in fact, for some businesses like the enterprises, those registered as enterprises, they don't even need auditing in terms of regulatory requirements, because it is not compulsory for them. So the limited liability, yes, those ones must do audit. But before they even get to audit, their accounts must have been prepared.
Okay,
yes.
Okay. Oh, all right. So because when I hear of bookkeeping, I'm like, I can get somebody, an accounts clerk, for example, to just handle the business for me in my business as an SME. Not many small businesses actually realize the need to have someone, a professional, handling that we tend to think the moment we can match our debit to our credit and, you know, have our ledger matching up, everything is well. So what makes you
fact, in most
sell?
cases,
How do you sell your service?
Nothing is even... So what we do really is to tell the business owner that, hey, do not compare our service to that of a clerk who is just putting down your sales in your notebook. Okay, what we are providing you is financial intelligence.
Financial intelligence. So that's what differs.
Yes. So that's what distinguishes us. So we are looking at your business holistically. We're not looking at sales in isolation. So I could give you a small illustration if you don't mind.
Please do.
So imagine that you had maybe an Ankara shop.
Okay.
I'm just, you know, for the sake of hypothesis. And you come to Pundit and say, we've been doing this business, but you see, what do we need to do to make maybe 10 million in profit, net profit in a full year?
Okay.
Right? So the first thing we will say is, okay,
so you also act as financial advisors?
Exactly.
Okay,
so it's a complete service, but we will advise on the basis of the accounts that we have prepared.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what, so we follow you from start to finish. As a matter of fact, we say that we are the entrepreneur's best friend in all things finance. So that, yes, that's the way it is. So because clients come to us to talk about, okay, we want to take financing now. Is it going to hurt us? How much should we be? Is it wise? And all of that. So, but we don't do it blindly. We would have first tracked your accounts before we can make those decisions. Yeah. So back to my illustration, sorry. So, I mean, you say, oh, how do I make 10 million in net profit in this Ankara business? So first thing first, we'll say, okay, so how much are you selling these pieces? Right? What's the selling price per unit? Yeah. The next thing we want to know is the cost price per unit, right? Yeah. After that, we need to track your overheads, which is what some people don't even pay attention to. Yes. So the shop rent, those things that you must spend money on whether you make sales or not. Yes. So your shop rent, the salaries, and other operating expenses. So by the time we have been able to bring all that together, we can advise you to say, okay, I mean, off the top of my head, I say, if you want to make 10 million, okay, then it means that you need to be targeting at least maybe 7,400 pieces a year.
True, true.
Okay, so we bring all that, like I said, intelligence into ensuring that the business owner can achieve their financial dreams. So it's not just that you made sales and I recorded it in a book, but that we're bringing it all together in terms of how your business can move forward.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
So if you're going to pitch to someone, yes, those are the things you're going to tell the person. Oh,
exactly. Yes, exactly. Now, I can give you another illustration live. Okay, so a client of ours was, she was concerned about the business. The business is doing okay, right? Okay. But she was like, I don't even know where my money is going to. You know, she feels she's small. So by the time we began to track her account, so we did the accounts up from January to June, we saw where the money was going to. It was going to her.
Okay.
And so we showed her
like that.
Hey, you have spent about 9 million on yourself. And she's like, what? And we showed her the ledgers because it's not like we just look at your bank statement and just do mini, money more. We've taken each transaction into the relevant ledgers. And so we can show you. So we showed it to her. Travel to this, that. And she's like, wow, okay.
Now, for you to set up your business as a bookkeeper, what does it require?
Okay.
Say, for example, someone who's probably a graduate and is thinking, okay, this could be a good form of me to start up something good. What does it require?
Oh, technical competence, first of all. You must be sure that you understand the nuances of this particular field that you're going into. Because there are actually many graduates who do not even know what to do with an invoice. So they do not know that an invoice affects, one, the customer account, that's if it's a sales invoice, as well as the sales ledger. You know, so you really need technical competence. Okay, you also need to understand SMEs, that's entrepreneurs generally, what their pain points are, so that you can interact with them on a level that really meets their needs at any point in time.
Okay, so basically that's it. Yes. And of course, having pundits in the market must be something that you have to make money out of.
Oh, sure.
It's quite rewarding, isn't it?
It is rewarding. It's rewarding, and we want to ensure that it keeps being that way.
Fantastic. Yes. Okay, so there's something else that I would like to know if you have interest in.
Okay.
Food.
Oh, food.
Yeah.
As an individual.
As an individual.
Oh, yeah, I like food.
Oh, yeah. So what kind of food do you like?
Anything with meat.
Anything with meat. It looks like today is your lucky day because we have something with meat for you.
Oh, nice.
You're going to join me in the kitchen right now.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. This is a pleasant surprise.
Okay. So you're not just going to talk to us about bookkeeping, you're also going to talk to us about eating, right?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi. Fine, very fine.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love your dress, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's lovely.
I love it too.
Thank you.
Okay, so myself and my second half when it comes to culinary issues, like you can see, we're trading.
Yes.
Okay.
This is looking at me. Okay, so Chef Nathaniel of Natido's Cuisine and Chef Mike of Mikey's Cuisine, we put this together.
Wow.
We did this together. Can we talk to them about what we did? Mikey's Cuisine.
Mickey Mouse Cuisine.
Super Mike's Cuisine, you know? We do all. Okay, so Chef, let's tell them how we came with, of course,
so
with
this meal is actually called assorted indigenous pasta.
Hey. Indigenous pasta.
Yeah, so we made the pasta with the Nigerian flavor. We have locust beans in there, that is Iro. We have pomo, the cow skin, and we have smoked fish, and also chicken. We have plantain and croaker fish.
You have to use a little bit of Iro so that it doesn't.
Is it granulated?
I can
No,
press
no.
it, actually.
Yeah.
Please, have it.
While they're
Have a
doing
taste,
that,
have a taste.
this is courtesy of AAA.
AAA.
Yes.
You know,
Pushing
he gave us this to celebrate our anniversary. Even though he's about to...
And also to prick our conscience.
Yes.
More like for not inviting me for the party.
6 weeks later.
This one. But thank you so much,
lovely
AAA.
cake.
Lovely cake. Lovely cake. I mean, I love this. I love this.
Happy
And then you can still celebrate us even up to December. You'll be sending the cake. You'll receive it. But thank you, AAA. Thank you so much, AAA.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well done, man.
Thank
So what do you
This
think about
is sufficient motivation for us
Yes.
on the show for the rest of the day.
You multitask.
We multitask on this one. What do you think about the food?
Different.
Yeah, it's local.
It's local.
Yeah, I can feel the local flavor, so it's not, yeah.
AAA, what do you think about what I got, what I made for you guys today?
That's the
His aspiration has...
Without the risk of repeating what she said, or sounding like I'm repeating what she said, but that's actually what I feel.
Okay.
It's like eating Italian pasta, but having a Nigerian feel to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's
something
just
like
the whole
that.
idea.
That's the whole idea.
They don't know it. This is me and Latido here. They don't know what's going on. They
So
don't know what's
someone
going
made the mistake of allowing Mikey to this kitchen today. I will not
Titi,
hear
you want to
word.
go and leave again, Abi?
Yeah, Mike.
I put this thing together myself. I mean, you just cutting and all that. You think I went this for? This is April.
All right, so we have to start
We're taking
rounding
the
up the
apron
show.
from you soon.
We have to start rounding up the show while these two are, going back. and forth.
He missed me, don't you see? He missed me.
Yeah. She's welcome back. We did.
A big shout out to our friends over at Homely NG
Yes, indeed.
for the kitchen accessories on the show.
Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in today and who have been tuning in since, we're going to be back again tomorrow morning.
Yes,
6
indeed. Yes, indeed.
a.m. as always.
Thank you, AAA, and thank you, Jovis, for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
Baba speak folk Japanese.
That was actually India.
See you tomorrow.